Welcome 5th standard English medium subject Evs chapter 1 living things. Living things. So we'll start with characteristics of living things. In that first one is all living things can breathe. As you know that every living thing which is present on the earth, which is living on the earth, they need breath, means they need air, right? You're also breathing. Animals, birds, insects, even plants also breathe, right? So that is first characteristic of living thing, that all living things can breathe. Second one, living things need air, water and food. These three things are necessary for living things, right? Air, as we told in the breath, right, as we discussed. Water also and food. Without these things, living thing cannot survive for longer time. Third characteristics, all living things can move from place to place. All living things, may you have observed birds, animals, right? Yes, plants cannot move from place to place, but plants can move their body parts, right? Like there is one example of sunflower, right? That sunflower in the morning it is in east and evening it is in west, so it traces the sunlight, right? So that plants can move their body parts. Next, all living things can grow. This is also you have experience if you have seen some plant which is in a small size, right? So after months or after some days you will observe that it increase in size, so that is growth, right? Even some animals also you have seen that they grow, right? Human beings also grow. Let's see next. Living things produce young ones, or we can say reproduce. Living things produce young one like themselves, right? Like a donkey has its young one, donkey only, right? They produce young one like themselves. Let's go for next. Now let's play a game. See these pictures carefully. 6 pictures are there. Now from this 6 picture, first 3, 1, 2 and 3 are tree, or you can say plant. 4, 5 and 6 are in a category of animal. So there are some characteristic. It will appear as a question, and then which number is appropriate with that question that you have to find out. Okay, so again, according to this number we have to see that question, that which number picture is appropriate with the question. Let's see first question. Numbers are there. These living things need water, air and food. Now from 1 to 6, any living thing is there which need this water, air and food. So every number 1 to up to 6, they all need water, air and food. Let's see second question. These living things are animals. Now from 1 to 6, which living things are animal? A number which is not animal will disappear, right? So you just keep that number in your mind. Which number are not animal, that number will disappear. See, get it? So 4, 5 and 6 are animals. Okay, let's see for next. Next question. These living things have the pigment chlorophyll. Now from 1 to 6, which living thing has pigment chlorophyll, means green color pigment chlorophyll? So it is connected with 1, 2 and 3, right? Because they are plants. But 4, 5 and 6 they don't have chlorophyll. Okay, this living thing can make their own food. Which living thing can make their own food? Think. So see here, 1, 2 and 3 can make their own food, right? Get it? Next question. These living things can move from place to place. So which living thing? Plants can move? No. So 4, 5 and 6 can move from place to place. So good. I hope you guess right answers. Let's go for next. Important points we are going to discuss. See, Living things include not only plants and animals that are visible, but also microorganisms like bacteria that are not visible to us. It doesn't include only visible things, but bacteria, they are also living things. Small germs, they are also living thing, right? So it includes all, whatever smallest or biggest thing which is living, that is included in living thing. Next one. Living things live everywhere on the earth, on land, in water, in air, and in the soil. Maybe question can be asked that where do living things live? So this will be its answer, this second sentence. Living things live everywhere on the earth, on land, in water, in air, and in the soil. Next one. Living things are different from one another, but they all have certain things in common, right? We are different from one another, but like this characteristic, some few things are common, right? Here you can see one picture of a plant, and white color is a root of a plant. So important thing is that living thing need water to live. Now look, we are going to discuss three important things. That living things need water to live, living things need air to live, and in next video you will see living things need food to live. So first let's talk about water. So how plant get water? So they have roots, right? So plant take in water from the soil with the help of their roots. They absorb water, right? That you have studied from 3rd standard. Water taken by roots reaches every part of the plant up to the tip of the leaf. Water reaches up to the tip of the leaf. Not a single part of a plant is remain without water. So water reaches everywhere in the plant. Plant use water to make their food, right? It is used in photosynthesis. You have studied in 4th standard also, right? That water is required for photosynthesis. Now let's talk about animals. That most animals drink water, right? Most animals drink water, like we also drink water. Some animals that live in desert obtain water mostly from the food they eat, like jaguar is such a animal. This animal lives in desert and they get water from the fruit, or you can say food that they get from the desert. Okay. Water transport nutrients obtained from food to all parts of animal's body and also help in removing waste. Now this is important, that how water help animals. So this last, right now you are saying that water transport, that whole up to waste, that will be your answer. How water helps animals, right? So water transport nutrients obtained from the food to all parts of animals body and also help in removing waste. See here. Now living things need air to live. So plants take in air with the help of tiny holes called stomata present in the leaves. Stomata are tiny holes. I'll show you picture. Plant use carbon dioxide gas to make their own food, right? For making food, one more thing we have discussed about water. Now carbon dioxide gas is required. It will connect you with the photosynthesis. So keep this thing in your mind about plant. Plant use carbon dioxide gas to make its own food, means during the daytime they absorb carbon dioxide, and during night they also need oxygen. Oxygen is required. So during night they absorb oxygen. Do you get it? Plants that grow on land obtain these gases from the air, right? Plant that grow, now two kind of plants we are going to discuss here. First that grow on land, the other that grow under the water. So now right now we are talking about the plants that grow on land. So they are directly contact with atmosphere, so they can direct contact and they can direct absorb carbon dioxide, or you can say oxygen, directly from the atmosphere, right? So your plant that grow on land obtain these gases from the air. Now see, plants that grow under the water, this is second category that we are going to talk. Plants that grow under water, they remain submerged in the water. All the plant remains under the water. Such a plants do not have stomata. This kind of plants don't have stomata, that holes they don't have. The entire surface of these leaves of the plant take in carbon dioxide and oxygen gas dissolved in water. The entire surface of the leaves of the plant take in carbon dioxide and oxygen because they are not in direct contact with atmosphere. They have to take that which is dissolved in water. I think you understand. Whole surface of the leaf, entire surface of the leaf absorb that which is dissolved in the water. Now see picture, right? That hole of green arrow, just follow that green arrow. There are many holes. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you are able to count them, 5 that are stomatas. Stomata in the leaf of the plant which is present. A plant which is on the land, they have this kind of stomatas, right? Let's go next. Living things need air to live in that. Animals. Up to now we are talking about plants. Now let's talk about animals. So animals, many animals that live on land have lungs and breathe air directly from the atmosphere, right? We also breathe directly from the atmosphere. Frogs, snake, lizards, crocodile and all kind of animals breathe air through their nostrils. We also have nostrils, right? We have nose here. So this kind of animals have nostrils, that hole of the nose, and they breathe through that. Now important thing, look, mammals are animals that have hair and give birth to young ones. Two important things, that have hairs and give birth. Now mammals, who are mammals? So if you guess any name in your mind and check for these two things. Do they have hair? Like if we talk about parrot, okay, do they have hair on their body? No, they have feathers, right? Parrot has feathers, so not mammal. And do they give birth to young ones? No, parrot lay eggs, so they are not mammals. Okay, let's talk about cow. Do they have hair on their body? Yes. Do they give birth to young ones? Yes. So both answers are right. They have hair, even they give birth to young ones, so they are mammals. What about human beings? Think on it, right? Let's see next line. See, your answer is here. Cow, tiger, mice, bat, human beings. Even if we talk about giraffe, elephant, bats. Why bats? Because these bats, look, they have wings and they can fly, but one characteristic is present in them, that they give birth to young ones. Important, huh? Bats, they give birth to young ones. That's why they are called mammals. Most important thing here, right? Apart from other, you are able to recognize like cat, dog, right? They are mammals because they give birth to young ones and they have hairs. I think so easy to understand. But this bats, birds too have lungs. Okay, living things need air to live. Birds too have lungs and breathe in air with the help of holes present on the beak. Birds, now we talk already about the animals. Now let's talk about bird. That bird have hole on their beak, right? What they have? Holes on their beak and they breathe with that. Now see here, a duck and that arrow, follow that arrow. There is a hole on their beak, right? I hope you understand. And about the bird, you have already studied in 3rd standard, right? Birds are everywhere, if you remember. So from this hole they can breathe. Let's go for next. Insects. So this is also important. What are spiracles? So insects have tiny holes called spiracles through which air enters. A network of fine tubes present in their bodies. Air enter through these spiracles. I hope you are able to see that picture and 3 arrows. It is written spiracle over there, right? So important, that's why it is underlined. This tube carry air to every part of insect's body. So insect's body have holes, air enter from that holes and there is a fine tube, from that air reaches to every part of insect's body. Now about fish. Think, what is this arrow pointing on something? See, what is that thing, right? And try to guess, keep that name in your mind and then let's see what is that. Fish and many other animals such as corals, sponges, jellyfish, shrimps that live in water use oxygen present in water. So these animals use oxygen that is present in water, right? And this thing is, yes, fish obtain oxygen from the water with the help of gills, right? They have gills to breathe. I hope you have studied this in 3rd standard. So fish breathe with gills. Okay, now about frog. Look, what make frog different? So frog can live on land as well in water, right? So how they breathe air? Let's see here. Frogs can live on both as well, on land, even in water. So when in water, frogs obtain oxygen from water through their moist skin, and when on land they breathe through lungs, right? So when they are in water they breathe through their skin, when they are on land they breathe through their lungs, right? So this make different, right? Okay, let's quickly go with quick check, true and false. First one, birds breathe through tiny holes called spiracles. True or false? So it is false, because the spiracle is connected with insects. Yes, spiracle is connected with insects. Okay, mammals breathe air through their nostrils. Mammals breathe air through their nostrils. Think, true or false? So it is true. Okay, plants use oxygen to make their food. I think I said this line 3 times. And what was the name of the gas? I think you know. So true or false? It is false, right? Okay, let's go for question answers which we have here. Let's learn some question answers. First one, where do different living things live? So living things live everywhere on the earth, on land, in water, in air, and in the soil. So everywhere. Second question, how do desert animals obtain water? So some animals that live in desert obtain water mostly from the food they eat, right? Mostly from the food they eat they get the water. Third one, how do water helps to animals? So water transport nutrients obtained from food to all parts of animal's body and also help in removing waste, right? Whatever you get from food, whatever nutrients you get from food, it get transported by your blood, and your blood is flowing just because your body have enough water. You have studied importance of water in 4th, even in 3rd. So water keeps blood flowing, and because your blood is flowing, because that blood has all the nutrients, that's why your every body part is getting the nutrients, and it removes waste also. Next question, what helps plant to obtain air from atmosphere? What helps plants to obtain air from atmosphere? So stomata, the tiny holes present on the leaves of plant, help them to obtain air from atmosphere. So which gas is used by plants to make food? So easy, right? That is carbon dioxide gas. Help them to make their own food, right? They absorb carbon dioxide gas and they make their own food. So how do plants that grow in water obtain gases? So some plants grow underwater. They remain submerged in water. Such a plant do not have stomata. The entire surface of the leaves of the plant take in carbon dioxide and oxygen gases dissolve in water, right? So they get dissolved carbon dioxide and oxygen which is in the water. Let's see next. How do birds breathe? So birds too have lungs and they breathe air with the help of holes present on the beak. How do insects breathe? So insects have tiny holes called spiracles through which air enters a network of fine tube present in their bodies. This tube carry air to every part of insect's body. 9 number, how do frogs breathe? So frogs can live both on land and in water. When in water, frogs obtain oxygen from water through their moist skin. When on land, they breathe through their lungs. So this was our first part of first chapter. I hope you like it. Thank you.